here's your host, Alex Garrett.
All right, well, we're simulcasting on Spreaker and on my Instagram Live because this is a moment. Shane, stop smiling.
I'm smiling at the fact that I didn't think that it was going to be able to actually go through it, so I'm actually smiling because I'm so glad that we were actually able to get together today and talk. And I don't know if you knew, but I was kind of the one that broke the news to everybody. So I received a instant message from his grandmother today on his account, and said that she had to break the news to me that Carlos passed away. And it kind of breaks my heart because now that we've all graduated, we kind of went our separate ways. Even if we say hello, I see you sometimes at Yankee Stadium, or, but when it comes to actually getting together with people, it's not that we don't want to, but now that we've graduated, our lives have gone separate ways. I now own a printing company. You now work, on the radio. You've been doing that for years. You're a Biscardi mascot. You do things with Biscardi all the time. A little breaking news that I like to give everybody that's a little off topic, and I know that you're going to be shocked to hear this, but I officially last week got hired by the New York Mets.
Oh, very cool.
And so that's going to be pretty cool. So I'll be owning the business, but working closely with the Mets and the Biscardi night that happens at Citi Field.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really exciting. So
very cool. Congrats on that.
On the hush hush, but I can officially announce that it came to pass. So, but that's a little off topic.
Shane, real quick, I want to just give people context on my podcast because I'm recording this for my pod as well. 2 months ago on Spreaker, I came on here and basically gave my thoughts on Max Gold and the impact he had on not only all of us on the class of 2009, but just how he was as a person. And I cannot believe nearly 2 months later I'm here to announce another has passed on. But as I was saying, Shane Walsh is with me. You actually might have heard him on one of my other podcasts from Yankee Stadium, class of 09. And somehow we always end up on a podcast or video together. I don't know how that ended up in Shane. But in all seriousness, it just shows us we have to hold each other close. We have to, as you say, make time to see each other because it seems that it's happening so fast and life's taking people way too early, and it's frustrating, and I'm frustrated. I don't know about you. I freaking am because this is not easy month after month now. So,
well, I kind of find it disgusting how life really does end so quickly. Like at the end of the day, you never know when our clock, internal clock, is going to turn off, right? So we got to be grateful to Almighty God. Be grateful to everybody that we have. Be grateful to everybody that's listening to this right now. And just understand that it is important to tell everybody that you love them every single day. Because you'll never be able to say, I love you again. So as a class of 2009, it is important that we keep in touch. Keenan, I know that you're listening, and I know that sometimes you hit me up and I don't respond. I'm not ignoring you. I'm really not. It's the way our lives are. But I promise that I'm going to do my best to keep in touch with every single person affected today. Because it's just amazing how we lost two of our own.
In 2 months.
In 2 months. So guys, just be good to one another. Be honest to one another. Give God thanks and praise. And I hope to keep in touch with everybody soon.
Shane, I know you're on Instagram. Tell us where we can be found.
So besides being on Instagram, you can find me at poshstylesonline.com, which is my direct business.
Nice.
So I do printing, I do embroidery, I do the whole 9 yards. And then you can also find me on Facebook, and that's Shane, Shane, Michael, Michael, Walsh, Walsh. I put all three, so it's not that easy to find me. But please reach out, not just for the business, but to also keep long-lasting relationships going.
Carlos was a funny kid. I remember he had such a sense of humor.
He was a blast, man. He was a blast.
And, it's tough to talk about anything else at the moment with you here, but I want to also share some good news tonight because, well, there is some good news to discuss amongst all this other stuff, and that is the fact that Chicago is seeing a big change tonight. in a success of ranked choice voting, I think it's a success. Lori Lightfoot, who was just atrocious. I don't know if you want to stay on for this, Shane, but atrocious as mayor of Chicago, has been voted out. They're going to have a runoff in April. They're going to have a runoff, actually, between Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson, Cook County Commissioner. Paul Vallis was a longtime public school chief. But here's the point. Chicago finally can be having that magnificent mile again. And if this mayor incoming is smart, I would say this. Do what Seattle's doing right now, which is paying the businesses destroyed by the autonomous zone back in the summer of 2020. Remember that summer of love nonsense? Well, Seattle businesses are being paid back. So whoever's going to take over Chicago, I suggest you pay every business that might be still around because, you shut everybody down during the pandemic on the Magnificent Mile, and you let people riot and destroy stores on the Magnificent Mile, by the way. But maybe you can do something good on behalf of the businesses and give them, some money back, some funds backing, because that rioting that happened on the Magnificent Mile, that shoplifting, didn't need to happen. Lori Lightfoot was really light on her feet, actually, if you think about it, when it came to tough on crime. What's that in Chicago? So that's a big thing in Chicago. And the other news tonight, and you're a sports guy, but also out of Chicago, Patrick Kane's coming to New York. So a big moment for the Rangers today. Just funny how Chicago is in the middle of it all. But the Rangers get Patrick Kane, and they trade only a draft pick and I guess a defenseman. But the point is, this was a long time rumored. I know Ed Merlino, who I've had on my podcast, and I were talking about this after they snapped their 4-game losing streak on Sunday. The Rangers getting Patrick Kane today, just a few days before the deadline. So I think if you're in Chicago's state of mind, a mixed feeling. You have a mayor get voted out who was just atrocious for you, but you also lose a hometown hero in Patrick Kane, and now he's not from Chicago, but he made a home for himself there, a name for himself, had a couple Stanley Cups over there, and now we'll see how the Rangers do. Shane, I don't know. I know you're a big sports fan. This is going to impact the Rangers, magnificently, I guess we'd say.
Yeah, because it was never expected. So,
well, you're
not to kind of get it, it's sort of an analogy. If you remember when Alex Rodriguez, was it Rodriguez or was it Mark Teixeira? Last minute, middle of the night, trade goes through. Was supposed to go to the, I believe that was to the Red Sox, if I remember correctly. Was that A-Rod?
Well, A-Rod definitely was rumored to go to the Red Sox. Then I thought it was a free. No, it was a trade. He ended up here, and the rest is history.
Originally, it was Seattle. He was with Seattle. So at the end of the day, this trade for the Rangers was all rumors, but I'm glad that the rumor actually came true.
I'm glad I picked you up because now, as usual, we talk sports, and I know Carlos was a huge sports fan too. I think he was a big Yankee fan. I might be wrong about that.
He was. He really was.
And, hey, I don't know what else to say except that thank God he got to see last season because that was Aaron Judge 62. We may never see that ever again, by the way. I don't know. Maybe he'll do 63 this year, but who knows?
Yeah, well, all I know is that, and what do you think about my man Jason Dominguez?
So Dominguez, actually, his story's been tracking even before the home run on Saturday, but that definitely lifted his stock. I'd like to see Volpe called up as well during the season. I think Dominguez at 20 is a little young yet to be called up, but maybe he has a shot this summer.
I don't know if you realized this yesterday, but I can't believe Volpe. I give him a lot of credit for this because he has a lot of Derek Jeter attributes. He's very professional on the camera, the whole 9 yards. He gave Donaldson credit for being the stand-up guy in spring training. I don't know if you heard that. I
did not. I know he stole 2 bases, though, which is pretty badass of him. So we got to see where that goes. I cannot believe February is done. March is here, spring training's here, and we always used to talk about that. I mean, we'd talk baseball year round, but in fact, you and I 12 years ago went down to spring training. That's a long time ago already.
We did. That was a bit of a rough trip for us, but we did. I don't even remember, David.
That was something else. But
Oh my God.
but the fact that we got to a game down there was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So.
I'm just glad we made it alive.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, so you got your business now. What happened to the sports store? Did that continue on, or?
So the sports store is doing just great. It's phenomenal. But as you know, since we've been kids, baseball is my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always at the stadium. That's how you always run into me. You know, I'm section 237, and screaming at the devil along there. So
Last year was fun, that's for sure. So
as you all know, you all know this, but you know that the vaccine has been mandated in the state of lifted in the state of New York, but it has not been lifted as an organization for the New York Yankees. And due to my disability, suffering from tachycardia, which is a higher heart rate than normal, I didn't feel comfortable getting vaccinated. With that being said, I went over to the New York Mets, and I interviewed with the Mets, and I did land a job with the Mets. So, guys, I'm not being a traitor. I'm still a diehard Yankee fan.
that's interesting. Now, I had thought that Paul O'Neill was allowed back in the booth, and he's not vaccinated. So that's interesting.
No, that was only for the event. You still need to be vaccinated to work for the Yankees.
Huh. Interesting. Well, hey, you're going to be at Citi Field, so where can people catch you there? Do you know yet? Do you know your assignment?
So I'm going to be in guest relations, so I'll be all around the stadium. I'll probably be the only guy in the wheelchair that works there, so if you see a guy screaming, can I help you? It's me.
You make a very valid point. Actually, the Yankees have hired a lot of people with disabilities. The Mets really have not. I got to say that right here.
I'm going to be a historical worker for them.
A pioneer.
I'm not going to be like a Jackie Robinson, but
Oh, no.
but it's going to be a great experience.
Now, can you tell us about the renovations going on? Because I know they have a huge scoreboard coming in the center field, which looks pretty badass, I got to say.
So I haven't really. The only thing that I went into is the suites for the interview. I didn't actually walk the stadium itself.
Oh.
They're probably putting in a pitch clock too. They're probably putting in bigger bases. They're probably doing it all, but
No, this pitch clock, I heard there was a Yankee game that went 2 hours, 33 minutes yesterday, so. And then today, yesterday, the Pirates and Orioles played with no umpire in the bottom of the ninth, so spring training's had its antics this weekend.
Starting, March 30th, the game will go only an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. It's like one of those video games where you could just speed it up for yourself.
Hey, the game starts at 1 and we'll be out of there by 2:30.
Just in time for that matinee on us.
Take a leak in the bathroom.
Oh my God, that's just.
Or if you're playing the Padres and you got Manny Machado at the plate, you'll have a violation and they'll blow strike one.
No, my joke was the Mets would would lose on a pitch clock violation in the World Series.
The bases loaded, 3 balls.
Exactly. That would be worse than Beltran striking out. Oh my God! And then
Open the umpire. What's his name?
Angel Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez.
Man,
these are good old times.
So I gotta tell you a story with Shane. For those of you watching, only 2 people. That's great.
Only 2 viewers. Is that me and you?
Probably. It's okay. It's gonna stay on the read. I'm gonna keep it on my feed so people can follow back up. But. No, and this is going to go on my podcast, because why not? Now, many don't know, if you don't want me to go there, you have a daughter, am I right? Or
I do have a daughter. She's the most amazing individual I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
She is 6 years old, and she is so hysterical, it's not even funny. Today she comes up to me and says, Daddy, I got in trouble in school. And I said, what'd you do?
Mm-hmm.
I just said, I called the teacher a chicken butt.
Well, that is. It must be fun to come home to work to her and the lovely wife.
Yeah, the wife is good. She really is an amazing backbone to my life. She's a huge support. She's amazing, but even what makes her the best is when she's sleeping, she doesn't talk back. No, I'm just playing. But she's really good, and I'm just glad that everybody's happy. I'm glad you're doing well, too.
Thank you. Real quick, I've got to figure out, I want to ask, where can people find out about the arrangements if they are in the Viscardi community watching this back? About Carlos, and will you have details on your page?
Yes, so absolutely. So if there is a service, which I would imagine there is, I will immediately put it on my page. I'll put it on Instagram for everybody that's watching this. My Instagram is Walsh1268. I don't even know where that number came from, but you can definitely get me on there. You can also get me on Posh, P-O-S-H, Styles, S-T-Y-L-E-S-N-Y. That's my business Instagram. Please feel free to reach out at any time, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. No, I'm just playing, but I will make sure that everybody is aware of the arrangements, and out of respect for Carlos's grandmother and aunt, I ask that we do not hit up Carlos's page at the moment, even if you see that it is active. That might just be them trying to get people's contacts, and you don't want to bombard them with, I'm sorry for your loss, and make it harder for them. I will make sure that I relay it back to them, that the Viscardi community is with them, and you know, with anything that they need.
It makes you feel like you have to draw in closer to your friends and colleagues and family after something like this. Hey, I gotta tell some people about Shane real quick, because let me tell you, being at a game with Shane is an experience. He's not shy at all. He's very vocal, and he'll let you know if he likes what's happening on the field. And yeah, he'll let you know what's going on in the stands.
I think it's great about going to games with Alex.
Oh no!
As you all know, Alex is disabled, has one leg, and gets drunk and annihilated and walks around with one leg, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Because
I do not get drunk. That used to be.
I can barely drive, and he's hopping around. No, but it's been good times. And you know, I just realized this, Alex. So I joined the Viscardi family in 2003.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
We were in 6th grade.
I was with Miss Papia, and she was the first person to ever teach me manners.
Hey, you know, all of us are Giant fans here, and I'm hoping Daniel Jones doesn't get $45 million a year. I think that's ridiculous. I hope he gets something.
Talking about Giants, March 5th, ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday at 1 o'clock, Ahmad Bradshaw will be in my location, 650 Lee Boulevard, York Heights, along with Mike Richter of the Rangers, Doc Gooden, and Quibet from the Jets.
So tell me now, is there a fee to see these people, or what?
Yeah, there is. There'll be a $25 fee for a meet and greet. Again, I am not the one sponsoring it. There's another sports store above me, but we kind of partner together on different kind of events. Shout out,
because we just have, I have to do this. We have the mom of Kane. This is great. Kane Ruiz, who has gone professional. This is very cool. So congrats on that to Mama Kane. Mama Kane Ruiz. Kane has gone professional, I believe, in Puerto Rico, and we're gonna have him on the podcast. So congrats on that. If you know Kane, you might see him on my page, Shane. I called his home run during an All-Star game last year at Duck Stadium, and since then we became friends and buddies, and guess what? He's now playing professional ball, sort of graduating from the Stam Mutual League on Long Island. So how cool is that?
Wow, that's actually really cool. So, Mom, if you can hear me, you should be truly, truly, truly proud of yourself for the way he made it to the major leagues, because even though he busted his butt to get there, if that's with you raising him and getting him to wanting to play the sport, so that's pretty cool. I know Buddy Harrelson very well. Buddy Harrelson was really, really cool. Alex and I know him together, actually. And what I was mentioning to Alex is that besides owning my own business, I actually now work for the Mets. So maybe your son one day
Maybe.
Will be a Metairie Yankee.
And here's the cool part. He was part of the ECC, the East Coast Conference at Mercy College. And, of course, they're big rivals with Queens, so I had that connection. You know, I was just thinking, if I stayed on a little longer and I got different people... I got different people joining. I'll probably tell you a story about everyone that is following. I think that's pretty cool. You know why, Shane? Because, like you, I don't want to just have people randomly following. I like to know the people who I have connections with on here. Let's be honest about that. Because what is the fun in following random people? Maybe celebrities, but I mean just random people.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, follow. You don't even know who they are, right? So it's nice to have that one-on-one relationship with people. Is Kane on the air right now?
Kane just joined the broadcast. I wonder if I could do this.
I don't know you. I listened to the things with you and Alex, but I have to tell you that I am extremely proud of you from the bottom of my heart, just because somebody like myself who which is completely wheelchair bound. I've always been disabled my entire life. I could have rolled over and just collected disability, right? And instead I decided to reach for the stars and land on the moon and do something for myself. So I now own my own business. I now work for the Mets. So when I think of you and how hard you work with Buddy Halsey to make it to the major leagues, you should be extremely proud of yourself. And I can't wait to see you one of these days, either as a Met, as a Yankee, or just seeing you on the field. And I'd love to just shake your hand. And, well...
Oh, shoot! Steph from Queens College. What's going on? Yeah, it's been a minute.
Wow, everybody from the woodwork is coming out now.
We're going to stay on a little longer. This is the better than late night. Okay, this is better than Fallon.
You're not getting any late night out of me, Alex, so got that. Better
than Fallon, better than, what the hell's his name? Kimmel. And better than Colbert. We're making it work. So I love Sean. Can I roast you for a second while you're on the show?
Please do. Can I roast him too?
I love Sean, but he would give me story. I love Sean.
My guy.
But he would give me stories 3 weeks after they happened, and I said, Sean, that just happened 3 weeks ago. And it's like, keep up with the sports news. What are we doing here, guys? That was frustrating.
Hey, Sean, did you know that Joe Biden's the president yet? 2 years later.
That's pretty good.
I love Sean. I'm not making fun of you. You're just a good dude, man. I'm back at you, brother. So what's going on with the Yankees? I think you'd be a better manager than Boone. So tell me what you think. Here's the thing. Can we all of us are Yankee fans here, right?
Depending on the day for me, I mean, sometimes I'm in Met gear, but that's another story. No, I'm a true blue Yankee fan. You guys know that. Yes,
I know. But let me ask you two this question.
Shane, you there?
How many of you... Could we all agree on this? Cashman has to go. I hate to say that to you, but I disagree. I think that...
I do too. I do too.
You disagree, Alex?
I disagree with Sean, and I agree with you, Shane Walsh.
No, I think Cashman deserves where he's at. I think Boone needed to go a long time ago. I think the Carlos Rodon pickup is phenomenal. I think the Frankie Montana, they would have been better off getting Sean in the bullpen before they got Frankie. Screw you. I think the Yankees have a lot of potential. Our farm system is solid right now. So I think we're all right. But when it comes to your feeling about Brian Cashman, I'll let him know the next time I see him that you think that he should have been fired. But as of right now, dude, it's been 20 years of the same damn thing. What are you...
Oh, no way. Malkeet has joined the chat. Oh, shoot. We're getting crazy. Malkeet has joined the chat. All right. That's awesome.
I have no idea who you are, but thanks for joining.
Malkeet is a fellow Viscardi.
Alex announced what's going to go on every Tuesday night. Let him know.
We are going to have Walsh's Wisdom, as wise as it can be. I'm just kidding, Shane. Every Tuesday. Now... It may not be Instagram Live. We're going to try and make it, but we'll definitely have a podcast on it. So I'll always blow up the story with that. So Walsh's Wisdom, Terminello's Take. Alex Garrett's Podcast Network is growing. I swear to God. Sean, if you get me facts within the week, I might have you back on. But until that happens, I am reserving judgment on that. So I'd love to have you back, but...
And then also, just for everybody that's listening, how many viewers we have?
We had about 3 or 4. Now we're down to 2. So it's like
I got to go quick. So for everybody that knows that I own a printing company in the Jefferson Valley Mall, 650 Lee Boulevard, Yorktown Heights, New York. The type of printing company that I own, it's called, you can do whatever you want, from t-shirts, sweatshirts. I also do sports printing. And now I just purchased an embroidery machine that you can now customize your own cleats and sneakers. So if anybody's watching or listening right now and you are on a softball team or a baseball team or even play football, even though football season's over, we can customize your cleats to put your name and your number or whatever logo you'd like on your cleats. So reach out at Posh, P-O-S-H, Styles, NY, or 914-486-9563. Enough with that. Back to Alex.
So I can't tell. Is it Walsh's Wisdom or Walsh's advertisement every week?
No, I think Walsh's Wisdom is great. And then if we get news from this guy before the season's over, we'll report it.
He would tell me trade deadline 3 weeks later. Oh, so-and-so has been traded. It's like, I know, that happened 3 weeks ago. What's going on?
I think, hey, guys, I've been a little preoccupied, alright?
What's her name? I'm just kidding.
Preoccupied with, but anyway, that's on that note.
What's her name?
I'm just saying, I've been a little preoccupied in the last couple years, alright?
Tuesday it's going to be Walsh's Wisdom. So if we don't have you on as a guest, just watch us and check us out. So thanks for watching, as always, here on the Alex Garrett live video, Alex GNYC1, and Alex Garrett Podcast Network.